Welcome to SGV MySPU College. So myself Ravi Kiran Jagadale. So I am your biology lecturer. So today we are going to start a concept based on a chapter that is called Human Health and Disease. Dear students, in second PU, this is such a type of the chapter. In this they are going to ask number of questions in KCET, Karnataka CET. You already heard the name. So I am going to discuss some major important questions. Those are asked in previous chapters. So what are those questions? Just see on screen. There is the one question will be there. So that question will be, as you know that here, the immunosuppressants such as dash prevent transplanted organs from being rejected in recipients. See, the question clear is there. What is that? Immunosuppressant. There is the one compound which is act like as an immunosuppressant here. That is immunosuppressant such as it prevents transplanted organs. See, another point will be there. Transplanted organs from being rejected in recipients. Here they are going to give the four options. The first options you must be remember, that is called as an thrombin. And second one is that cyclosporine, and third one aspirin, and last one is that none of the above. See here, in these four options first we are going to discuss. After that we are going to see which answer is correct here. So first one, thrombin means immunosuppressant agent. It will be act as an immunosuppressant agent in the transplantation of the organ in patients. So that is first thrombin is there. This thrombin is, you know that it is commonly called as an coagulation factor. What you call it is an coagulation factor. Must be remember here coagulation factor. That coagulation meaning is that clotting. As you know that mixing, coagulations. So already you know that coagulation concept, if we are going to think, means it is related to the blood. So that blood, how it become a coagulated to form a clot. That is we call it is an clotting. This thrombin will be responsible for in that aspects. I am going to told you both mechanism of that, how the blood is become clot. So you know that there is the inactive prothrombin is converted into active thrombin. What is that? See the concept. Inactive prothrombin is converted into the active thrombin. Inactive prothrombin is converted into the active thrombin. How it will be becoming active? In the presence of one chemical compound, we call it is an calcium, and another one is very important, that is called as an thrombokinase enzyme. Dear student, must be remember the enzyme thrombokinase, which is responsible for the conversion of the inactive thrombin into the active thrombin. And what are those cells? Those are also becoming coagulated to form a clotting factor. Those are nothing but a thromboplastin. So in turn, this active thrombin is converted the fibrinogen cells, the insoluble fibrinogen into the soluble fibrin. Insoluble fibrinogen into the soluble fibrin. So this concept is called as an, what is this? Clot. So this is why I am going to told you, means because they are given to give one word is that thrombin. It play a very important role in the coagulation factor. Coagulation factor is nothing but a mixing or clotting. Then you must remember the concept how the clotting will be takes place by chemically. The clotting will be takes place like that. The inactive prothrombin is converted into prothrombin, only active thrombin, in presence of calcium as an cofactor and thrombokinase enzyme. After this active thrombin is converted soluble fibrinogen into the insoluble fibrin. Then the blood is become clots. So this is the function of this thrombin. Okay, but thrombin will be act as an coagulation factor, not an immunosuppressant agent. Then come to the second one is that cyclosporin A. What is that? Cyclosporin A. This cyclosporin A, how it will be act? Cyclosporin A, it is commonly we call it is a chemical compound which is responsible for the act as an microbe. And when the patient's organ will be transplanted, that time they are going to injected this type of the chemical that's called as an cyclosporin. This cyclosporin A acts as an immunosuppressive agent during the organ transplantation. Here for this question the correct answer is that cyclosporin. Then come to the third option. What is that? Aspirin. You heard the name of aspirin. Aspirin is nothing but a commonly we call it as in tablets. It is nothing but it relieves the fever or pain, or it's also act as an anti-inflammatory. So this is the concept about the aspirin, and fourth one is that none of the above. Then you must be remember cyclosporin A is acts as an immunosuppressant agent. This is the one. Then we can move for second slide. Next slide. Okay, come to here. In this slide, you must be discussed about this question will be based on the lymphatic system or immune system, dear students. See, what is that question? Both B and T lymphocytes are produced in the bone marrow. However, only the T lymphocytes travels to the dash and mature there. Before that, we know that our immune system is responsible for the increases the immunity power. You know that. How it will be increases the immunity power? Due to the presence of the cells or organs or tissues which are present in immune. The cells I am going to call, those cells are nothing but a lymphocytes. These lymphocytes are responsible for the increases the immunity power of the body. Along with there are two types of the organs are there in immune system. The first one is that primary lymphoid organs and secondary lymphoid organs. Primary lymphoid organs, you must be remember, that is nothing but that is main important bone marrow and thymus. What is that? Bone marrow and thymus. These are called as an primary lymphoid organs. And secondary lymphoid organs are nothing but here they are going to give one word, that is nothing but spleen. Spleen is there, Peyer's patches will be there, small intestines are there. Small intestine, spleen, Peyer fasces, these all, dear students, we call it is an secondary lymphoid organs. But primary lymphoid organs, where they get mature, here the main important concept is there. So primary lymphoid organs, in that questions they are going to give, here B means bone marrow, T means thymus. Both are called as an primary lymphoid organs. See, lymphocytes are produced in the bone marrow. B is bone marrow. However, only the T lymphocytes travels to the where it is. T lymphocytes. What is the meaning of T? T nothing but that is called as an thymus. Then travels to the thymus and mature there. It going to start to proliferation. As you know that movement, differentiations, growth and development takes place. Due to these conditions, so B lymphocytes are matured in the bone marrow, that is we call it as in thigh regions, where the proliferation of the B lymphocytes will be takes place. And T meaning is that thymus, that's nothing but a cells T lymphocytes. These are proliferation and maturation takes place in that regions only, that is called as an thymus. I am going to told you about this concept, which we are going to discuss about the first one, that is nothing but a spleen. The spleen, it is called as an secondary lymphoid organs, okay, and also it is responsible for the, so there is the removal of particles, pathogens which are present in blood. That's why it is act as an blood filtering agent. Blood filtration, it's undergoing to the blood filtration where it going to remove the pathogenic bacteria or microbes. So filtration of blood, like that we are going to told this thing. Then come to the second one, thymus. About the thymus I am going to discuss with you. The thymus is called as one of the endocrine glands. Dear students, in our body there are two types of the glands are there. One is endocrine glands, another one is that exocrine glands. What are endocrine glands? Endocrine glands, almost how it is, these are ductless glands. Exocrine glands are duct glands. But endocrine glands are secretes the hormone. Exocrine glands are not secretes any hormone except one gland. That gland is called as an heterocrine gland or dual gland, that is nothing but a pancreas. Then come, why I am going to give the detailed analysis about this concept means, we are easily know that the what is the question, what are the options. If you are going to get the detailed analysis about the options, then from those options also there is the questions will be arises in your MCQs concepts in examination. That's why dear students, take the clear cut idea about this endocrine gland, because in our body we are having endocrine glands. The first endocrine gland is called as an pituitary gland. This pituitary gland is going to control by the one part of the body that is also endocrine system body, that is hypothalamus. First one hypothalamus, second one pituitary gland, and third one come to the here the reason I am going to told you pineal gland. These three glands are present in the nervous system, dear students. You know that pituitary gland is secretes number of hormones. Nearly 8 hormones are secreted by the pituitary gland. This pituitary gland, commonly called as a master gland of the body, must be concentrate this point. Master gland of the body. This is also question arises to you. Then I am asked one question is there, why it is called master gland of the body? Because of one reason, this pituitary gland has the two divisions. In that two division, first one is that anterior pituitary and second one is that posterior pituitary. In the anterior pituitary, again it has the two regions. First one is that pars distalis and second one is that pars intermedia. This pars distalis having secretes nearly about 5 hormones, dear students. Already you heard the names in last year. Chemical coordination and integration chapter is there in PU first year. In that you know that this anterior pituitary secretes the 5 hormone. In that GH is there, growth hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, okay, FSH follicle stimulating hormone, LH luteinizing hormone, okay, and prolactin hormones. These all hormones proliferate in different parts of the body and there it becomes matured and starts their function. Then come to the another one is that posterior pituitary. It secretes such a type of the hormone, that is we call it is an MSH. What is MSH? Melanocyte stimulating hormone. Like this, dear students, there are nearly about 6 hormones in the anterior pituitary, and posterior pituitary secretes 2 hormones that is present in the pars nervosa region. That is, first one is that oxytocin and second one is that vasopressin. This oxytocin hormone play a very important role in the contraction of the smooth muscles. So during the delivery, during the parturition concept, dear students. Then come to the next one is that vasopressin. So vasopressin mainly acts on the kidney tubules. Then what is the function in the kidney tubules? Reabsorption of water, which is present in the nephron concept. Then this vasopressin enzyme is also acts as an ADH. What is that? ADH. ADH meaning is that, see the abbreviation is here. ADH nothing but it is anti-diuretic hormone. Anti-diuretic hormone means diuretic conditions, nothing but it going to maintains the water balance in the kidneys. So like this type of the function will be done by that hormone that is called as an vasopressin. This is pituitary gland. Then come to the after the pituitary gland, then our body is having a thyroid gland. So behind of thyroid gland there is the presence of parathyroid glands. Okay, these are also secretes the hormone. Then come to this region is secretes a one gland is there, that is called as a thymus. That only we discussed here. Exactly here between the chest bone. In that region there is the presence of one gland, that is nothing but thymus. This thymus secretes a hormone thymosin, which play a very important role in the immunity system, increasing the immunity system, immunity power. Okay, so next after the thymus, I told you another exocrine gland will be there. It acts as an heterocrine gland, that is nothing but a pancreas. We commonly call pancreas yellow gland of the body, and it going to secretes the two types of major hormones are there. So before that there is the cells will be there, alpha cells, beta cells, delta cells. You know that part we call it is an islets of Langerhans. This islets of Langerhans secretes three types of the cells: alpha cell, beta cells and delta cells. Alpha cell secretes the hormone glucagon, beta cell secretes the hormone insulin, and delta cell secretes the hormone somatostatin. Then what is the main function of this pancreas? It secretes hormone. Due to that condition it is called as an endocrine gland. Okay, but it also play very important role in the regulation of the blood sugar level. What is that? Blood sugar level. You know that you heard the name concept about the diabetes. So imbalance, balance, everything you will going to do by the glucagon and insulin. So this is the one such a type of the endocrine gland. And after that the another endocrine gland which is situated above the kidney, those are nothing but adrenal glands. Adrenal glands are also called as an endocrine gland. Why? Due to this secretes the hormones. So these secretes catecholamines, mineral corticoids, and the cortex part of the adrenal gland secretes the two main types of the hormones. Those are nothing but epinephrine and norepinephrine. So these hormones will secreted by the adrenal gland. Due to these conditions we call it is an endocrine gland. After the adrenal glands, then there is the two gonads are there, testis and ovary. Testis is called as a male gonadal part and ovary is called as a female gonadal part. So these are also secretes the hormone. Already you know that testis secretes a hormone that is called as an androgens or testosterone, and ovary secretes estrogen and progesterone. See, I am going to told you the glands and hormones. If they are secreted the hormones, then it is noted as an endocrine gland. If they are not secrete hormones, then it is noted as an exocrine gland. In this category, the thymus, pituitary gland and adrenal gland all are we call it is an endocrine glands. But spleen, it is called as an secondary lymphoid organs. But for this question, the correct answer is that, what is that? Thymus, dear students. Okay, then we can move for next slide. What is this next slide? Okay, see, this slide also responsible for that immunity systems. What is that? See, the dash is at its largest in children, but with the onset of puberty, it eventually shrinks and gets replaced by fat. You must be understood the question first. What is that? The temtem or dash is at its largest in children, but with the onset of puberty, if puberty will go into loses, puberty stage, then we reaches to the old stage, senescence stage. Okay, it eventually shrinks and gets replaced by fat. What are those options? First one, thymus is there. Next, hypothalamus is there. Next, parathyroid gland. None of the above. So I told you one concept is that here the one such a endocrine gland is there. That endocrine gland, there are two endocrine glands are there. Hypothalamus is the master part of the master gland, and this thymus, it going to secrete a hormone thymosin. So during the starting stage, at the time of puberty, you know that this puberty stage, when it will be coming to the individuals, when our body is going to secrete the hormones such like GnRH. What are those GnRH? GnRH nothing but a gonadotropic releasing hormone. These gonadotropic releasing hormone, if they are secreted in our body, dear students, must be remember, we are coming to the puberty stage. Hypersecretion of GnRH. So this will be supported by the master part of the body, that is called as an hypothalamus. This hypothalamus secretes such a type of the hormones, those are called as a GnRH. Then we reaches to the which stage? Puberty stage. Okay, this puberty stage eventually goes down. Then we reaches to the adult stage, and next we reaches to the old stage. Then what happen? Then there is one such a type of the endocrine gland that will becomes the loses its activity, loses its hormone, loses its strength, and converted completely as an fat. And that's such a type of the largest, which is largest in children, such a type of the endocrine, that is called as an thymus. This thymus secretes the hormone that is we call it is an thymosin. This thymosin play a very important role in the increasing the immunity power. I am going to know clears you the slowly, you know that when we are in the childhood stage or teenage stage or adult stage, our immunity power will become more and more increases. During the old, because old people slowly loses their immunity power and strength. Why? Old power, when they are not having any immunity concepts, due to these conditions only, means there is the decreases, degenerating concept about the thymus gland takes place. About thymus gland meaning is that is nothing but a thymosin hormone. Then thymosin hormone loses its activeness. It becomes slowly inactive conditions. Then inactive means eventually that part is becoming shrinks and gets converted as a fat. Which part it is? Thymus. Okay. Already we discussed about the hypothalamus. And come to here the another endocrine glands, that is nothing but a parathyroid glands. Here in this part these are present. There are 4 pairs of parathyroid gland are present. These parathyroid glands are going to secrete such a type of the hormone that is called as an PTH. What is PTH? PTH is nothing but a parathyroid hormone. This hormone will be responsible for the regulation of the blood calcium level. What is, dear students? Blood calcium level. Due to this condition, this hormone is called, what is that hormone? PTH is called as an hypercalcemic factor. What it called? Hypercalcemic factor. Regulation, it will be regulation almost all. Blood calcium level, due to that condition it is called as an hypercalcemic factor. It is also one of the very important concept you must be remember. Which hormone is called as an hypercalcemic hormone? What is that? PTH. PTH is secreted by the which gland? Parathyroid gland. And 4th option is none of the above. Okay. Then we move for the next slide. See in the next slide, okay, this slide will going to show you a different concept. This is completely based on the parasites. What are those parasites? You know that in our body there are almost all, in organism concept there are two types of the parasites are there. One is called ectoparasite and another one is that endoparasite. Ectoparasites means those parasites which are present outside the body of organisms. Which are present outside the body of organisms. And endoparasites means which are present inside the host. We know that host is nothing but a body of organisms. So in that parasitic, there is the one parasite they are going to give, that is nothing but a Ascaris lumbricoides. Is a species of parasitic roundworm that lives in. What is the habitat of this parasite? Basically we call it is an Aschelanthes species or Nemathelminthus species. Same word is there. Nemathelminthus meaning is that roundworm. Where it is present, there are given options. First one is that humans, second one is that grasshopper, third one is that pigs, and fourth one is that none of the above. You only tell me, dear students, we know that roundworms, these roundworms, this is nothing but a Ascaris species. Okay, this Ascaris species having a two sexes. One is that male and another one is that female. The female will be almost all largest than the male in the length, and these two roundworm will be present in the intestine regions. But where? These are present in the intestinal regions of, the answer is that is called as the humans. In the humans, these are going to causes such a type of a disease that we call it is an ascariasis. What is that disease? Ascariasis. This disease will going to causes by the causative agents Ascaris lumbricoides. Then come to the second option, they are given here, grasshoppers. If you see about endoparasitic condition, then this insect is also has such a type of the agent in its body. So that agent we call it is an hair worms. What are those? That is nothing but hair worms. So grasshopper. Grasshopper is having such a type of one agent. That agent is called as an, that is nematomorphs, or it's also called as an hair worm. Nematomorphs. It's basically, the word is called hair worms. So this type of one agent or sporozoite stays present in a grasshopper. This is also causes infects this insect. What is that? Grasshopper. Okay. Next one is that, another one is that pigs. Pigs are also has the endoparasite. That endoparasitic name is called as an, so that is, you must remember, paramyxovirus. Paramyxovirus, or it's also called as an another worm is there, Trichinella. Trichinella is there, Trichinella spiralis, or the basic one is, I am going to told you already, you are discussed about that one, that is nothing but a tapeworm. This paramyxovirus or Trichinella spiralis or tapeworm is nothing but a Taenia solium. These type of the endoparasites are present in pigs, and nematomorphs are present in grasshopper. You must be concentrate on these endoparasitic species also, because like that questions also coming in different way. So this is the concept and idea about the Ascaris lumbricoides. So this is the way you know that how the humans are having a parasitic as an ectoparasite and endoparasite. Like that same grasshoppers and pigs are also has the such a type of the endoparasite, here nematomorphs and here tapeworm, Trichinella spiralis. So these are